Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Held Dominance, Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you enjoy what you're seeing and want to see more. So there is reports on all this, and every single Super League club every league club, rugby league club even, that were denied or rejected. Sorry. So the three clubs that were denied their elite status from the academies are Bradford Bulls, Castleford Tigers and Hull Kingston Rovers. And I have done a previous video in regards to that, so please go and watch that after you've had a quick listen to this video. As the RFL has dramatically granted Bradford, Castleford and Hull KR their elite licenses again, just weeks after rejecting their applications to be again. The three were revoked of their license by the governing body in a move that resulted in intense opposition across the sport, but in a dramatic U-turn, the RFL has granted a probationary license to the three clubs for 2 years, in which the clubs will be regularly reviewed to ensure that they're meeting the standards required. All clubs have received feedback as to where their applications fell short, and will be required to fix those issues to retain their licenses. So they're saying you lost it. The RFL are basically saying you've lost a license, it's your fault for doing it, and this is why. To continue with that, the RFL had provisionally awarded licenses to 10 clubs, as I mentioned. The other two clubs, Salford and Leigh, will work with the RFL to work on their pathways to the elite licensing recommendations. Dave Rotherham, the RFL's chief on-field officer, has said, "We are pleased that it has been possible to reach this agreement for the benefit of all, while respecting the process that led to the initial decision. The RFL will work with all 5 clubs to address the specific circumstances and have responded to these challenges with impressive energy, which has earned these opportunities." No, their backlash, their backing from Parliament and their MPs has caused you to backtrack. There is a recognition by all the elites. Just to say that again. There is recognition by all now that elite should mean elite, and that everyone involved has a responsibility to protect and grow the sport from community right through to the ranks of professional and national sides. That means either restricting the numbers of full-time licensing academies or demonstrating an ability to increase the pool of players available for them. That is now the challenge for the whole game, and one in which all clubs recognise that they must play their part, with the increased standards of academies a key part of that. The standards will not dilute, and every academy licence holder will be held accountable under the terms of the licensing agreement. So they've put the onus back onto the people that they've awarded academy status to. If they're able to increase participation in rugby league, then great, that's good for the sport in general, but they have to have a standards of amount of players coming through their academies. That needs to be increased, I understand that, but there's undue burden and pressure sometimes that can be exerted from the top down, as most clubs in the Super League will be looking to get Super League status. The problem is the Super League has too much power, specifically the clubs themselves. They have the rights to veto any changes to anything in the Super League era, in the Super League itself. The RFL don't have that power. The Super League and Sky Sports can go, no, we're just specifically on these are the clubs, and this is what we're doing. You're getting no money. That would cause the RFL so many problems. So I think the interviews on Sky with Ralph Rimmer, for instance, have caused the pressure to be put back onto the RFL to change their stance and to give these people the standard, because it is a pandemic that has caused some numbers to go down because other things have come all about, like the community game looking to increase their cash reserves, enforcing a membership fee. There should be a club membership fee which divides between the club and the RFL, the community game. It was governing bodies. That's my stance on that front. With referees' fees being paid by the clubs through subs, what they gain on match days, which is another pot, with the extra going into the pot for the club. As in subs, I paid them when I was younger, and that's what happened. You paid for the ref, maybe, but the club got some of that back to wash kits and things like that. But it's a well-known way of funding. It created things like, I'm going away from the subject, I know, but this is why I thought on the community game, and I've been going on it for ages about their funding and not really specifying my position on it. There should be the fees from the clubs, which are split between the clubs and the league 50-50. Match days, the subs per player, which goes towards paying referees and getting club funds, like I said, which can generate more income because they've got a cash reserve to put on presentation evenings, family evenings, fun days, buy new kits, more training gear. That's how it should work. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the community game, and I will get back to the academy game now with statements, overall statements from each of the clubs, beginning with Castleford Tigers. So, reacting to the news that they got the elite status back, Castleford Tigers said, after a tremendous amount of dialogue over the last fortnight, we're delighted to be able to announce that the Castleford Tigers Academies has justly received its elite status. Castleford Tigers will work with the RFL over the next 2 years to ensure that our Elite Academy license will remain with the club for the next 6 years, as the sport of rugby league at all levels has a duty to grow the community game and increase the player participation pool. The club would like to place on record a thank you to everyone who showed their support of this Tigers Academy at this time, including Castleford fans, local community clubs, the Castleford Tigers Supporters Club and the wider rugby league community, as well as our local MP Yvette Cooper. All the support given has been greatly appreciated by everyone involved at Castleford Tigers Rugby League Football Club. Speaking on behalf of the club's board of directors, Castleford Tigers Managing Director Mike Grattan said, after a tremendous amount of dialogue, that's the part where I started. So, head of youth performance at the Castleford Tigers, Darren Higgins, commented on the news, saying, after a difficult 2 weeks, the retention of Castleford's Elite Academy licence is fantastic news and will allow the club to continue its youth development provision, which has continually progressed year on year. Every member of our 45-strong staff structure will continue to work hard to provide the best possible environment for our aspiring young players, and look forward to seeing even more of our academy products progress through the ranks and playing first-team rugby at Castleford Tigers. So yes, that is what Castleford have said in their statements. Hull and Bradford went along the same lines, with different terminology, shall we say that. Please visit the two clubs' websites to get the full statements in regards to the RFL U-turn. But it is something that needed to be done. We know from the interview with on Sky Sports that Ralph Rimmer was, why have we got to keep things the same to expect the same results? To expect different results. Sorry. He's right in that point. I must admit, he's right, because it's the definition of madness, doing the same thing over and over again, and getting the exact same results. Expecting different results. Yeah, I apologise for my brain farts, as I have a train of thought and it keeps going off on different tangents, so bear with me. I will get to my point. The way that the RFL should have came about it was putting the jeopardy, as they're going to review it at X time, which is now only 22, and we expect you to do this, 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 and this. Came up with a list. Shouldn't have got rid of the team's elite statuses, because one of the teams that were granted Elite Academy status, Catalan Dragons, have yet to confirm that they are going to take that mantle up. Yes, they were awarded it and went for it, but nothing's come of it since. We've not heard any statements from them saying that we're delighted to get this elite status. So that's the flip side. We have rugby league in these areas. Granted, there are some areas, and I do comment about, and I've mentioned that might get relegated. Sorry, Wakefield fans. I've got elite status. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, if they get relegated, Wakefield, or in the bottom three, they need to be given the jeopardy. Why are you getting all this from us when you are not performing this, and you're buying these players, and you haven't got this amount of academy players? It's a dilemma that needs to be addressed, and the pathways need to be clear. We can't copy the Australian model because we haven't got their community game or their structure. It's completely different to ours, or the weather. But we've got these tools. We need to push on growing the game at community level, but it also has to be reflected by the RFL. They have to grow the game too. That's why expansions need to come into place. I'm from London, a young kid, and I've just been picked up by Castleford Tigers. In the game of rugby league, then great. That's a great thing to hear. But coming at it as a person who's been dropped in the middle of Birmingham. Oh, I'm from Wigan, I'm going to Castleford to sign play for rugby league for them. What's rugby league? Why are you going from London to Castleford? Totally two different environments, totally two different sized towns. Well, one's our capital city and one's a small town up in the north of England. No disrespect to Castleford, but the RFL have got to get the feelers out and explain why that's a good thing on a wider scale. Just as an example. Why is the world's biggest player at the time, Sonny Bill Williams, going to Toronto rather than a team in the UK? Because it was a bigger market for one, potentially. Things didn't work out, which was also pushed over the line by Super League and the RFL. I won't go into that debate, but that's my thoughts. Anyway, that's it for another video. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching once again, and I do appreciate all your views, your comments, your likes and your subscriptions. Please remember to share this video worldwide. More subscribers I get, the quicker I can get you my t-shirts out to you. But in the meantime, all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.